Hello, 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 and welcome to the Mompreneur HQ. I am your host, Rashida Green, founder and CEO of Get Right Coaching and the Mompreneur HQ community, where we help moms to start, grow, scale, and just st- build their businesses so that they can build the life of their dreams without neglecting themselves or their families in the process, right? That's what I call a win. And we do that through coaching, courses, content, and community. So we often now refer ourselves as your BFFs because we provide information and coaching on business, finances, family, and self care. And this month, we are talking about Mental Health Awareness Month. And our topics typically will revolve around that theme for the remainder of the month. So if you're here joining us live, make sure that you put in the comments hashtag live. And if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. We just want to know that you're here and definitely chime in, put in your comments, and let us know what you're thinking about the content that we're sharing with you today. Some people may not think that this topic is relevant to them, and that's fine. But as entrepreneurs, as moms, there are times when we feel like we've hit the ceiling or we've just hit the floor. And so this conversation is not just for you in your present, but maybe you in your future, or maybe the family member that you may witness experiencing some form of mental health, depression, illness, or disease. So today we are going to be talking about attitude matters. Attitude matters. So if you are again joining us live, make sure you put hashtag live in the comments and be sure to stay with us until the end because we have a surprise gift for those who join us live on today. So if without further ado, here we go. Attitude matters. In your mindset can make or break you. It really can. It can make or break you. And so if you don't want um to be in a situation where you're broken down by from internal thoughts, then we have to talk about it and how our attitude matters. And the first thing that we want to talk about is the stories that we tell ourselves, right? And this 3 points that we want to talk about will be about self-esteem, success, and routine, right? So let's start off with the first one, self-esteem. If we are constantly having negative conversations about ourselves in our heads, that leads to poor self-esteem, and literally it could end up turning into a mental illness. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have confidence in yourself, if you're constantly beating yourself up, being your own worst critic, and literally criticizing everything that you do and belittling the gifts and talents that you have, you will become in a state of lowness. And that will be your daily habit, your daily routine. It just is what it is. I'm a nobody. I don't do anything well. I'm just a broken down vessel. If you are constantly telling yourself these negative thoughts within your head, you are perpetuating negativity and low self-esteem. So we want to be aware of this because it doesn't have to be that way. You can actually turn it around with just your mind. And what helps is your attitude. If the glass is always empty, forget half empty or half full. If the glass is always empty, then you have nothing to pour out from. So you have to fill up your cup with positive thoughts, positive conversation, positive constructive criticism, not negative, not beating yourself down, but constructive criticism. Yeah, I didn't get this right the first time, but I'll get it right the next time. No, I didn't present my best self that time, but I will definitely work towards doing it the next time. No, I didn't put my best foot forward in that scenario, but I will the next time. You see the difference in the conversation? If it's, oh, I didn't put my best foot forward, I ain't never going to step out again. That is negative self-talk that will keep you in a state of loneliness. So you need to, did I just make up a word? I don't know. You get it. So, but you need to just stay out of that negative self-talk. And if you see me looking, that's because I have notes today. I was somewhat prepared to speak to you on this matter, because mental health awareness is not my subject matter. I'm not a subject matter expert in that area. So yes, in order to be able to speak to you on today, I did do a little bit of research, and so I wrote some notes. So yes, I am glancing at my notes. I want to see you get up here and talk about all these various conversations and know everything in the world about them. And if you can, please invite me to come watch, because I'll definitely be taking notes. Meanwhile, at the ranch, back to self-esteem. We want to make sure that we're not constantly putting ourselves down, constantly putting ourselves, saying negative self-talk, because these things can cause stressful situations, and it could cause, of course, mental health issues. And some of those things are anxiety. You're always going to be on 10 because you're like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, because you're so doubtful of yourself and your skills and your talents that you are anxious about everything that comes your way. And you may actually miss out on a lot of opportunities because of self-sabotage. Now you don't think, because you don't think that you can do anything, you're not going to openly accept opportunities that come to you. So you want to make sure that you are in tune with yourself and the things that you seem to put yourself down about. And one of the things that you end up doing, in addition to creating anxiety and stress, is that you can potentially um, end up with depression. And we know that depression leads to, of course, other things. So in depression, you start isolating yourself. You don't go out, you don't interact with people, and then you may even go into stages of self-harm, self-mutilation, or even thinking about depression. So you want to be able to check those. And these are some very sensitive, this is a very sensitive topic that we're talking about. And as I said when we started, some people might think it's not for them. Some people might think it's irrelevant. And hey, why is she talking about that in this business group? Because as mom entrepreneurs, we juggle a lot of balls in the air. And sometimes when they start to drop, we feel like we can't pick them up. And sometimes we get in this depressed state where we feel like we're no good for nobody, nevertheless, as a business owner. So these are topics that we should definitely not dwell upon, but definitely touch upon as business owners, as moms, to be able to, you know, hedge it, if if I can say that, hedge problems before they come. See them as they're coming, and then be able to deal with them head on. So, self-esteem. So, with that, everyone's needs are different, and how we deal with things are different. So, we want to make sure that um, if you happen to witness someone who may be going through these challenges, that you don't try to one size fit all them. So, identify that relationship that you have with that person. And this is in the situation where it's not you, but someone um, you know, you want to handle them with kid gloves, but at the same time, you want to be realistic with the situation. You don't want to say, oh, you'll get over it. Oh, it's going to be okay. Because sometimes those words are just not enough. But if it's you, be sure to um, think more positively. And I used to call that woo woo, it's about your inner self and be more positive. But as I am learning about the mind and how powerful it is and our thoughts, um, it's not woo woo. It's like real. It's like scientific. And if what you think is who you are, and if you think you're nobody, if you think you can never do, then you won't. And I believe there's a quote out there by Henry Ford that says, if you think you can't, you can't. You're right. If you think you can, you're right. So you're right either way, because it depends on what you think. And if you think you can't do something, guess what? You're not going to attempt. You're not going to do it. So the best thing to do is to think positive, think on those good attributes, think on those skills and talents that you have that have helped people and are helping people, and just move forward with that. Because if you are a mom, then you have children who are depending on you to be your best self. And so having a positive or healthy self-esteem or positive attitude can definitely help to um, keep you further distanced from mental health illnesses, um, that you can actually help to avoid. All right. So next we're talking about success. And I touched on that when I talked about Henry Ford's quote, if you think you can, you're right. And if you think you can't, you're right. Because whether you think you can or can't, you're right. Because that is success. If you don't think you can make $1 million, if you don't think you can make six figures, if you don't think you can make $6,000 a month, then likely you won't, unless you put forth the effort and say that you can make the goal and go for it. And even if you don't get to the number that the goal that you set, you got somewhere in the vicinity doing what you needed to do. So it's all about your attitude. Success is in your attitude. You can literally change the projection of your business by how you think about your business. If you think, oh, I have to get up and I have to serve clients and I have to do this and I have to do that, then you're always going to be having some negative feelings towards your business. But if you say, I get to be an entrepreneur, I get to serve clients, I get to help people solve problems, it feels different even when you say it. So I know it feels different when you think it. Your attitude needs to be in a way that success comes to you because because you're dreaming, wanting, desiring, and thinking success. If you are uh earning $300 a week and start thinking like $3,000 a week, is different, because now you're thinking of things that you can do to make $3,000 a week, and you're not getting stuck in the fact that, oh man, I'm only making $300 a week. But what can you do differently to make $3,000 a week? So it's all about your mindset. And that's what we're talking about when we say the stories that we tell ourselves. If we are continually thinking positive, thinking of about the possibilities, and not about what the present moment may represent for you now, but about where you can be in the future, then success will be um, right at our fingertips. And remember, success is different for everyone. So, yeah, you may be happy with $300 a week as long as you're still able to enjoy your family, or as long as you're still able to travel, or whatever that may be. But it's all about your attitude. How do you feel about that? Some people say, "Oh, I want to be seven-figure earner tomorrow." Yeah, that's a little hard to do even with attitude, right? But the thing is, why? Do you want to be a seven-figure earner just because? Or do you know that the impact that you make and the value that you bring to the table is well worth the seven figures that you desire to have? Or that you know that seven figures that you're aiming for is going to put your family in a place where they can travel, where you can travel together at 2 weeks and 2 months at a time if you like. So what is the why behind the vision and the goals that you have? That attitude is what's going to steer you forward and push you through those trials and tribulations and those obstacles that you may face that might want to bring you down. The key is don't get stuck down there. Um, but in fact, get back up, because if you fall 7 times, you need to get up 8. If you fall 10 times, you need to get up 11. If you fall 15 times, you need to get up 16 times, so that you're always on the upswing. You're always on the positive. And that is one of the key things to making sure that even if you fail, that you've built up so much confidence in your attitude that failure just becomes one of the things that you have to go through in order to get to where you're going to, right? So that's where we want to be. Believe that you can do something and you will do it. You will find a way, because your attitude tells your brain this has to happen, and your brain tries all its best to figure out how it's going to make it happen. So it's all about attitude. Your positive self-esteem, your attitude pushes your success. And then the last thing I want to mention about that is your routine. What are you doing day to day that is helping your attitude to be positive? If you're waking up to an alarm clock going rah, 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 and the first thing you do is roll over, slap it, snooze it 4 times, that does not make you feel better about the day. Hitting the snooze button and getting that extra 5-10 minutes really didn't help you to get energized for the day. Yeah, sure, you stayed in the bed a few minutes longer, but it really didn't take you to the level where you're like, yay, I'm going to go and start my day. It's more like, oh, this alarm clock, there's no more snooze options. Oh, we only give me 3. Okay, well, I guess I got to get up. Right. So you want to be able to have a daily routine that gets you excited about your day. You want to make a point to create a routine that starts positively each day. So whether that means you're waking up to a glass of water by your side to make sure that you get your water in, that means if you're deciding that you want to pray or meditate for 5 or 15 minutes in the morning, if you want to do stretches and yoga or exercise for another 20 minutes in the morning, whatever that is for you, that's going to get you energized, get your attitude right. Then those are things you should consider putting into your daily routine, not just on the weekends when you feel like you have free time. Now you could do a little something. Make it a part of your daily routine so that your attitude is on point, because your attitude determines your altitude. I'll say that again. Your attitude determines your altitude. If you want to go up, if you want to be successful, if you want to do big things, you have to have the attitude to support those things. If you have a negative attitude or entitled attitude, then you're not going to get where you want to go. You may not even feel like you can get to where you want to go if we're talking about having negative self-talk and self-sabotaging. Um, so you want to make sure that you are considering your attitude and what's the best ways to get you in a good mood at the start of the day so that the rest of your day can kind of fall into place. So you want to do that. You don't want to think of yourself. You want to think of yourself like a bottle filled with either water or soda. Do you want to explode every time you get shaken? Or would you rather maintain a state of positivity and calm even when life shakes you up? That's a question. It's rhetorical. Think about it. And if you do have a response that you want to share, um, feel free to drop it in the comments as we're talking about the stories you tell yourselves, because attitude matters. We're going to move on to knowing when to talk to someone, right? One of the most important parts of self-care and growth is knowing when you need help. So there are times when you don't know, because you're not paying attention to the negative self-talk. You're not paying attention to the piles and the clutter that are building up. You're not paying attention to the baby saying, "Mommy, are you going to play with me now? Are you going to play with me now?" And they start asking you the question over and over. "Are you going to play with me now? Is it now? Is it after your nap? You've had your nap. Can we play now? Oh, you read your book. Can we play now?" You don't even see the signs that your children may be begging for your attention because something is going on and you may not even recognize it. So when do you need, so how do you know when it's time to talk to someone? All right. So an easy example, um, or reference, I will say, is when our body is not working the way we think it's supposed to work. We have an ache, something's not doing something. That's our physical health, and we go to a physician, right? We make sure that we go to a physician. Well, in those situations, it's easy to identify. Broken arm, go to the doctor. Foot, go to the doctor. You have your special doctors that you go to for these things. But what in the case of mental health? Sometimes we just don't recognize it, but there are some telltale signs. Um, when we're not able to sleep, or when we're so sleepy but still can't go to sleep, or we're taking long naps in the middle of the day. There are some signs. But the thing is to know is that life isn't easy for anybody, right? Even those people who you say were born with a silver spoon in their mouths, they had to they have their own struggles. Might not be the same struggles as mine, growing up in the projects in the inner city, but they still have their own set of issues that they deal with. And so we have to understand that life is going to have trials and tribulations, and we need to overcome them. And if we cannot do that by ourselves, then we need to seek help. Okay. If we feel like there's no way that anything is going to ever get done or anything's ever going to get better, then we start sinking into a deep hole and feeling like nobody can help us because nobody else understands. Nobody else has ever had this trauma. Nobody else has ever dealt with my situation. And so now I don't want to be here anymore because I just don't want to deal with this. Understand that everyone has challenges in life. And no matter what your challenge is, you are not alone in the fact that everyone has challenges in life. And so at that point, with that statement, knowing that everyone has challenges means that you are not alone and that you do not need to do something as drastic and terminal as take yourself out. So definitely, if you feel like there is no one in the whole entire earth who understands you or who can help you with your situation, that is a telltale sign that you may be dealing with a mental health condition, whether it be depression or something else. You may need to seek help. And I'm telling you, it is not about keeping it a secret. It's not about being in shame, because those same secrets and that same shame will keep you so far down into depression that you might want to end your life. So remember that you are a human being and we are flawed. Remember that there is someone, even if you don't think that there's someone, there is someone who cares about you. Like, even if we just take it back to business, for example, with business, you never know who is watching you. And they are watching you week after week on your lives. They're watching you daily on your social media. And then a whole year or two later, they come back and say, I've been following you since 2020. But I just didn't have the nerve to actually seek your help for my business. And then 2 years later, you have a client. because people are watching you. People, they know that, you know, the people are watching you. People know that you exist. And to just not, to no longer exist would just be, it'd just be sad and painful. And although you might think that um, removing yourself from the situation is going to make you feel better, think about the rest of the world. Um, and so if you're having suicidal thoughts, if you're seeking relief from your situations through drugs and alcohol, if you find yourself isolating yourself from your loved ones, disconnecting from the world, pulling your hair, mutilating yourself, your body, being unable to function like you normally would, if there are any physical, there may be physical manifestations of mental and emotional distress, like constant headaches, migraines, stomach aches, heart palpitations, blurred vision, dizziness, and there are other signs to that. But these things that are internal can sometimes manifest externally. So you want to be able to recognize some of those signs that you may be dealing with. And if you happen to see this occurring in someone else, because it may not be you, definitely want to um, identify those things. And then there's just this helplessness, and that you may even just feel like you need to seek help. Seek help. And so with that, find a therapist, doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist, someone that you feel comfortable speaking with, who will be able to assist you and support you as you work through the challenges that you're facing and the problems that you're dealing with. It's important to speak with the people close to you so that they know what's going on, so that they can adjust accordingly, right? Some people don't know what to say or how to respond in situations like this, but knowing helps them to at least be able to, for themselves, deal with you in a way that is a little more compassionate. And if at any point you don't feel like the people around you are helpful, or you don't want to go to your immediate doctors, there's always this help line, this suicide hotline. Number is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. And just know that you indeed matter. You are important to your family. You are important to the world. You have gifts and talents that only you can express and impact the world with. So just know that attitude matters and you matter. And that is our mental health conversation for today. I hope, again, this is a very heavy topic, and you may not feel that it's related to business, but it is in fact related, because we are human beings and we deal with a lot as parents and as business owners, that we sometimes have these challenges that we need to face and get through. So, thank you for being on live with us as we talked about this topic. And today, I did say that we were going to have a free gift for you, and if you were here live. And what it is the Name Your Price Breakthrough Session. Yes, I am bringing that back for International Coach Week, where we are going to International Coaching Week, where I will give you 60 minutes of my time to break through one business topic. So if you have a business challenge that you are currently frustrated with, it's not working for you, whatever the case may be, and you need just another person to walk you through those steps, then you can definitely reach out and schedule your breakthrough session. It's Name Your Price. So it is what you believe will be valuable, whatever value you believe that you'll be able to get from this 1 hour coaching session with me about your business. You put that price in, and then you schedule your appointment. There are only three. There are only 3 slots. And that's for those of you who are on here live, who are watching this video. this live stream. It's only 3 that I'm giving out. You can get it as long as the 3 spots are still available, and it is going to be at the mompreneurhq.com product breakthrough coaching session. You will see it. I am not going to put it in the comments this time because I want those who actually watch the video to be able to get the access to me for 1 whole hour. This session is normally $300, but for 1 whole hour, you'll get to speak to me about your business and we'll solve one of your business problems. That's why we call it a breakthrough session. We're going to break through whatever is holding you back in your business. 1 hour, 1 session, name your price, and it's on. All right. So you have to schedule this session before the end of the month, but it is yours. 3 to anyone who's watching this, 3 slots to anyone who's watching this video. All right. And of course, if you're not interested in naming your price and you just want a 20-minute clarity call, feel free to reach us at schedule a call at www.themompreneur.hq.com/clarity-call. And we'll just have a 20-minute conversation about your business goals, and how I might be able to help you. Well, today has been a meaty conversation in recognition of Mental Health Awareness Month. I hope that you have able to get some information to help you or someone you know through their mental health challenges. And go ahead and book that breakthrough session. It's only 3, and it's name your price. No reason why, if you're watching this live stream, that you don't take this opportunity. Until next time.